I'm in the middle of the South African bush, helping to stop an endangered rhino from being poached for its horn.
We just got the update from the helicopter that we're going to be horn a male black rhino today. These animals are so rare.
They're going into the dot.
Copy, copy. So they're going in for the dots.
Up to the top of that ridge. It's going to go down on top of the ridge.
The rhino is down.
When they said that this gets hectic, I didn't expect it to be like this. I'm actually Cain, former pro footballer, turned influencer and extreme ultra athlete. Life's good now, but where I grew up, I could have easily turned to a life of crime.
If you're raised in some of the world's toughest neighborhoods, what lengths will people go to in order to survive?
Você tem que entrar sabendo que essa vida tá para matar e para morrer.
To find out, I'm traveling to some of the planet's most hostile places.
What the f is going on?
To meet those who have chosen a life of extreme criminality. No judgment, no agenda.
You really want to kill someone? We'll blow them up.
To do that, I'm gonna have to win their trust and get deep into their world. I may not condone what they do to get by.
10, 20, 15.
But by walking in their shoes, can I at least understand them?
South Africa is the #1 destination on the planet to see African wildlife in their natural habitat. Over 400,000 British tourists holiday here every year, and nearly all of them head to the national parks and game reserves to go on safari. I absolutely love these animals. I've seen 4 of the big 5 on safari, but I've still never seen the mega rhinoceros. The chance of spotting a rhino here is sadly getting less and less. Poaching gangs are breaking into the big game reserves and killing rhinos for their horns, which are being trafficked illegally for up to £80,000 a horn. I want to get inside the world of rhino wildlife crime to find out why these animals are being poached for their horns. I want to know who these poachers are and try to understand how they can take the life of a rhino and risk their own life doing it. I also want to meet the rangers on the front line of this deadly war with the poachers and learn what they're doing to try and protect the rhinos from being killed. The province of KwaZulu-Natal, Zululand, is a prime location for spotting rhino. Let's go. It's my first morning in South Africa. I'm on the way to meet a gentleman called Nunu, who is also known as the Rhino Whisperer in Zululand, which is very, very cool. What's not cool, though, is that this place has become the #1 hotspot for rhino poaching. So I'm really interested to find out why that is and potentially if it has any chance of stopping. There are only around 28,500 rhinos left on the entire planet, and most of them are here in South Africa. But the rhino population is declining massively. I'm starting my mission at the privately owned Bonamanzi Game Reserve in Hluhluwe, hoping for a chance to come face to face with a rhino.
Nunu,
Hi, how you doing?
it's good to see you, brother.
Nice one, huh?
Listen, I've never heard a cooler name than the Rhino Whisperer, so I'm really excited about today, so thanks for meeting me. Let's go then.
Let's go and do it.
Nunu is a trails ranger, known to be able to get within meters of a wild animal with maximum safety and respect. His spiritual connection with rhinos is legendary. Hey, can you explain to me, right, the Rhino Whisperer, how do you get a name like the Rhino Whisperer?
So the name was given to me from the way how much time I spend with the rhinos. So I spend a lot of time with the rhinos. And I tend to learn them individually, like how this lady behave, how this gentleman behave, and this one is having this baby, all those kind of things. But they are brothers and sisters.
Well, that's a great way of looking at it. How difficult is it, to spot rhinos? I've been to Tanzania on the safari, and the rhino was the one animal that we didn't see.
I think it's getting worse each and every day because what's going on to them, the killing or poaching. So it's getting worse each and every day to see them. I lost a lot of rhinos that I know individually.
Yeah.
Government-owned national parks can draw on huge resources from the army and law enforcement for rhino protection. But private game reserves like this one have to pay for their own security, so they aren't as well equipped to fend off poachers. And here in KwaZulu-Natal, the poachers are exploiting this weakness with great success.
These rhinos are getting poached and killed just for that horn.
Yes.
It just seems like such a brutal act. I can't get my head around it.
So it's amazing to find like a whole big animal lying on the ground because someone just needs the horn.
Rhino horn is one of the most sought-after illegal wildlife commodities, and they are being trafficked internationally to where there is insatiable demand.
All our horns, they go Asia.
Asia.
Yeah.
So basically, African animals are getting poached and killed.
Yes.
But the reason why it's happening is because of the demand that's in Asia.
Yeah.
The horns move through a network of criminal syndicates to the big cities in South Africa and are often smuggled alongside drugs and guns. Corruption and bribery assist in getting it out of South Africa. Supply-demand in illegal markets in places like China and Vietnam, where it's sold as a traditional ingredient in medicines and tonics. Its buyers claim it can cure everything from hangovers to cancer, but there is no proven pharmaceutical value to rhino horn. This demand has resulted in there only being around 17,000 white rhinos and 6,000 black rhinos left today, making them incredibly hard to come across.
Yo, you can understand why there's a roll cage on it.
But if anyone can find me one, it's the Rhino Whisperer.
Please, white rhino and black rhino today. Please, God, please, nature.
I am getting whipped to shit.
Listen, I want to get home and my missus is going to be asking me who I've been seeing out here, but I'm saying the bushes. all the scratches and marks I'm going to have on me.
See, this is the black rhino dropping.
Oh, look at them, look at them. That's some big shit, that is. Huh?
That's a big shit.
That is a big shit, man. Oh my God. That is absolutely insane. That is a beautiful, big payload of destruction if that wanted to charge this van.
But me being me, I can't just be a spectator and sit on the sidelines.
Let's go.
So it's fortunate that I'm with the right man to get me a closer encounter. I'm about to have a face-off with a white rhino.
Is there lions here? Is there lions here?
No, there's no lions.
No lions. No cats.
They're leopard.
Leopard? Fucking walking with leopards.
We're in that actual danger zone now. If one of these absolute beasts charge you at 35 miles an hour with 2,500 kilos behind them, you'd be finished, mate. It'd be like getting hit by a car going at 80 miles per hour.
God. Literally right there. 15 meters away. To think I'm sharing the same ground 15 meters apart. These incredible animals. He's a book in this moment. It's absolutely magical. Right. You know, as I stand out here and watch these animals, I feel the beauty, but I'm also overwhelmed by the pain, knowing that these animals are getting killed and potentially wiped off the planet because of their horns.
Nunu was an antelope poacher in his youth, but since working in conservation, he has dedicated his life to protecting African wildlife. You can really see that he's developed a deep love for rhino, and he feels their potential loss as a species just as deeply. Back at the van, I noticed he had gone really quiet.
How you feeling?
Sad. Because the future is not determined by us. The more you travel Africa, the more you realize that how much the continent is suffering with all the beauty.
I'm sorry, man. Because there's something about what's happening here, you know, which is so wrong.
This day was so much more than I expected. It was magical to finally see a rhino, but also incredibly sad, especially seeing Nunu so upset. He loves these animals like family and is losing them one after another. I can't believe rhinos are being butchered just for their horn. I'm left with so many questions about why this is happening and who's doing it.
All I know at the minute is I fucking love rhinos. Have a face-off with a rhino, completed it, mate. Mad.
I've come face to face with a rhino. Now I want to come face to face with a poacher. I'm hoping to find answers to how they can justify killing these beautiful creatures. I need to know who is involved in doing this.
Zama,
Hey, Ashley.
how are you, my friend?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you.
So I'm meeting up with Zama, a rhino conservationist, to help me better understand what kind of communities most poachers come from in the rural areas of KwaZulu-Natal.
Can you tell me more about Zululand?
There's a lot of history behind the Zulus. The Zulus are known as
Warriors.
spear people, warriors.
The Zulus built a powerful empire with a strong sense of identity on the southeast coast of southern Africa, until British colonial settlers invaded Zululand in 1879. This resulted in a series of bloody battles that eventually toppled the Zulu kingdom. Today, many young Zulu men are dealing with the effects of post-colonial rule. Their day-to-day reality is struggling with poverty, high levels of unemployment, and a lack of skills to secure work. Access to education is severely limited in rural areas. Over 200,000 children walk to school for more than an hour each way every day. Many don't even attend school due to not having the money to pay for the fees.
The young people are struggling, and which is sometimes lead them in a bad things that they need to do. Some they just do the drug abuse, criminal activities, and which is now popular is the rhino poaching.
I've been to see the rhinos, and you know they're beautiful. In fact, it was actually quite emotional seeing them, you know, and sharing the same land as them. And for me, I find it hard to picture actually picking up a gun and shooting one of them. Do you think it's right?
Actually, it's you can't take a side on this. I know I'm on conservation myself, but if I can find myself in a space whereby there is no way to live, and the opportunity of doing it is available, I can do it. Some, they really need to put the food on the table. The families are struggling.
Yeah. You know, if I was to go and pick up a gun today and try and hunt rhino, what danger would I be putting myself and my family in?
Yeah, definitely it will be dangerous for you. It's a big animal. When you miss or whenever you run into the security guard, then that means you lose your life at the same time.
Really? So the people that are trying to protect these animals, you know, can use deadly force against poachers?
The poachers taking that risk generally come from poor communities living near the game reserves, also called protected areas. These local people live off the land like they have done for thousands of years and gain little to nothing from the wildlife tourism that operates near their homes. These fenced-off reserves also limit the area that they are legally allowed to hunt in, which makes it hard not to feel like the wild animals are valued more highly than the lives of the local Zulus living in the same rural areas. Zam has taken me into Gumbi tribal land, to one of the villages that is bang on the fence line of the Somkonda Game Reserve. I hadn't realised just how close these people live next to big game. What is life like for the people who live here?
You can see, if you look around, you can see the conditions of their houses. And to where we are going now, they don't have water in the village. So
They don't have water?
They don't have water. I would like you to meet the family of the Gumbi, which the mom is in pain. She lost her son in poaching.
I want to hear their story and find out how poaching has tragically affected this family.
They lost their father of this household a few years back. If you look behind you, this is his grave right here.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did they lose a father?
He got sick.
What did he do to provide for?
He was actually working in one of the protected areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after him losing his life, then the life of the whole household became more difficult after him because he was a breadwinner.
The money their dad brought home by working inside the game reserve disappeared, and their mother struggled to feed their family. In 2022, their 33-year-old unemployed son, Nizalelo, who was desperate to find work, made the decision to jump the fence into the reserve to try and support the family by working as a poacher. The average income of a Zulu family here is roughly half the national average salary. The offer of earning years and years of wages in just one night's work proved too tempting for Nizalelo to turn down. Kosanati, I'm guessing that they're a lot easier to take down than they are to bring back, right? I joined his brother Kosanati to help fetch water to bring back to the family and tried to get to know more about what happened. How far is it that you have to walk to get the water?
Less than a kilometer.
Kosanati used to make this journey countless times with his brother and is still adjusting to life without him. This is something every morning that you have to do.
Every morning, in the morning and in the afternoon.
This is going to be a job for young people. I've got They stretch the old knees. How did you actually find out about your brother's death?
We received a call. My brother was shot dead, rhino poaching, and then found in the game reserve.
Who shot him? You know, was it poachers? Was it rangers?
They told us that they were shot by rangers.
Fucking hell, man. That's really difficult, bro. I really do feel for you and your family, man. Did you have no idea that he was doing what he was doing?
No, and we knew nothing. His friends are just calling him to come, but he didn't specify what are they going to do. We lost him, so it was very, very painful.
Is it true that a lot of people, you know, in the villages and in the communities are accepting of poaching because it's their only means to survive?
Many people are doing it for just to put something on the table, not maybe because they want to do it. Many people around this area who are poaching, they don't want me to see them because they know that I don't like that.
Should we get this water back to the family?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Hearing Kosanati's heartbreaking story about his brother has given me a lot more empathy and understanding for why some people might turn to poaching. Listen, thank you very much, man.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I appreciate it. you know, thank you for introducing me to the gun biz. I thought 100% wouldn't poach. I definitely wouldn't poach. And then when I go to a community like that, and I see that there is absolutely no other way to earn money most of the time, maybe things will be a bit different for me. If I see my kids go hungry, maybe it'd have to be the Rhino.
But if you just talk about the boys in the village, they actually shit scared of the rhinos. They're scared of the rhinos. They're scared of all the big animals. They're not poaching, but they're doing just a hunting which is traditional for us. Because if I can go back a little bit, hunting wasn't a bad thing. It was controlled by the chiefs of the land, what animal you can hunt, and then they would close that season so that the animal can also
repopulate.
Hunting, but hunt in a sustainable way.
What kind of animals do the Zulu people hunt for bushmeat?
Great duikers, red duikers, antelopes, very small antelopes. They can be a meat for just one family.
And what's the main difference, right, between hunting and poaching?
Hunting for me, it's when you hunt around your village, and that doesn't affect anybody. But if you jump the fence into the protected area or into the reserve, that's where you start poaching, because now you're stealing from somebody.
I've asked Zama if he can get me in touch with some young men in the village who hunt for bushmeat in the traditional way, outside the protected areas. I want to find out more about the daily grind that these men face just to feed their families and get an even deeper understanding of the tough choices they're faced with. So Zama's taking me to his village to join a hunting party up in the hills, close by to another fenced-off nature reserve.
You okay?
Here are the guys here, which they're gonna be doing the hunting for us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so hunting for food to eat, basically.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm looking, there's no guns. I thought it was going to be guns today.
No guys.
So, the dogs?
The dogs are doing the work.
So they're not just finding the animals, they're killing them?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Bushmeat hunting has a long history in South Africa, and people here have traditionally hunted with just a dog and spear. Today, the canine is still the hunter's favourite tool to help track down their prey. The hunt is officially on. I'm on foot with the guys with a GoPro. There's no way that if these dogs go and these guys go, that our cameramen are going to be able to keep up. So it's down to me today.
Hey, what's happening there?
And it didn't take long for the dogs to track and spook an animal out into the open and in full sight of the hunters. Oh, actually, they're going. Zama, what they seen?
They've seen the red duiker.
They've seen the red duiker? They've got eagle-like vision. To spot the red duiker from this kind of distance is absolutely insane. I can't see shit.
What's that?
Yeah, they're chasing. The dogs are chasing it now. Okay, we're going, yeah? Yeah? Okay. Now they've located their kill, the chase is on, and I've got to keep up with the pack. Fuck it. I'm going. And this terrain is fucking deadly. But by the time I've caught up, the trail's run cold. What's happening?
I don't know, man. It looked like the dogs just missed it.
They missed it.
Yeah. And for the duiker, for the red duiker in the bush, he's the best.
But the fact that there's 12 dogs, 8 hunters, and the duikers gave him the slip, it's made me really happy. There's nothing like an underdog story. Let's go, duiker. But the dogs pick up on the scent again and have taken us into some hardcore bush. When I want to get food, go to the local supermarket, buy some food, take it home and cook it. I want to make it a bit easier. Get a microwave meal, put it in, ding.
But to try and do this for every meal is another level. Some of these stones are like that long. Look at that. Ah, you fucker. Just drawn blood. What it is to get a bit of food. Fuck me. Fuck me. It feels good. See daylight again. And be like that shit. Hey. Yo, Zama, that dyke is a menace.
He's the master. I will say it again. He's the master. If you can imagine how many dogs are around here, how many people are here, but no one is able to find it.
After 4 hours of treacherous hunting, the dyker lives to see another day. The boys seem defeated and call off the hunt.
Kind of feel sad for the guys, though, you know, to come home empty-handed is more than disappointing, especially when it's not for fun, but it's actually for the food that you're putting on the table for your family.
The dogs are tired and the mood is low.
There's a lot of you guys out there today, and obviously you hunt, you know, to catch and to eat and take home. Would your families, you know, and kids be back home waiting for you to bring that?
Yeah, they're always expecting something. In some household, food on the table will be like a difficult thing, so they need the supplement of what they eat.
Yeah.
So the simplest way is to go into the bush and come back with meat.
Does it hurt these guys' prides if they go back empty-handed?
Yeah.
There's a link, you know, people start off as hunters and then they can go into poaching. You know, would any of these guys go into poaching, or have they thought about it?
Bazositshena ngokuthi esiqewini watholakala umuntu ehamba ngenyawo, watholakala umuntu ezingela, watholakala umuntu edoba, ekhulunywa indaba yakhe. Phelile ngabakudubula. Cause ngala ngaphansi batshontsha impondo zobhejana. Manje waziwa noma uzodoba noma uzothatha ubhejana. That's why bathi njalo bafuna next. But
These hunters seem terrified to even go near the reserves. But if more and more of their bushmeat hunts are unsuccessful and times get even tougher, maybe they too might be tempted to turn from hunter to poacher. I've got a good understanding of why some young Zulu men might see poaching as their only pathway out of poverty. But I'm absolutely astonished at just how many of them are getting killed in the act. Between 2013 and 2017, there were 1,093 poachers either arrested or killed in South Africa.
South African National Park says 2 suspected poachers were killed in a shootout in the park. 2 others were arrested.
In Kruger National Park alone, 47 poachers were killed in 1 year during confrontations with rangers.
The killing of rhinos for their horn is spiraling out of control.
I want to understand why they're using such brutal force. So I'm heading to the Project Rhino Canine unit, where rangers train how to stop poachers in their tracks before they kill any wildlife in the reserves.
how are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
Welcome here.
These wildlife warriors are training for battle.
In 28 years, doing this job, I never had to work a day in my life. I lived my passion, protecting rhinos, catching bad guys.
Junior Blom is the Canine unit coordinator and is a veteran in the war with poachers.
To be a canine ranger, you must be military trained. To defend your life, you need to be a dog handler. You need to be law enforcer, apprehending them for prosecution.
Stop! Hands up!
It is a very special person that will be able to do that job.
One of the main jobs a canine ranger has is to track and clear thousands of animal snares.
This is all the snares that meat poachers put out. This is heartbreaking to see an animal in a snare, still alive, gasping for air, bleeding as he gets strangled. It's a very cruel way. Rhino poachers also, they don't hesitate to shoot the animal, and while it's alive, they'll use a machete and they'll cut down that horn while the rhino is still alive.
It's barbaric though, isn't it?
Mm.
If these poachers are going out there and they've got guns, they've got machetes, doesn't it put you guys in a lot of danger?
So your life is always threatened. There is always a risk.
Junior wants to show me the kind of weapons they need to use to combat heavily armed poachers effectively. So I'm joining him and a couple of the recruits down at the shooting range for weapons training. The only problem is, I hate guns. I've never shot a gun before. I think, in fact, I've stayed away from it because I know people that have been harmed by weapons.
How good a shot do you think you are?
Well, to be honest, Junior, I've got really bad eyesight, so it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how good I am out there today.
It's your first time, so you have some lenient space.
Yeah. There's no leniency if I beat these guys, though. By law, rangers can only fire their weapons if poachers shoot at them first. But once the gunfight has begun, it's kill or be killed.
Range is live. Aim 5 shots on your own time.
Junior's top recruit, Dumasani, is up first. Boy! Junior, I didn't even have the weapon in my hand, yeah? I could feel the adrenaline already.
So he had one in the chest and one in the abdomen and one in the lower extremities.
Man officially shot the guy's dick off.
3 out of 5. So now we'll see what Ashley can do.
Oh, man. You know, I'm an action man, you know, chuck me in the sea, let me climb a mountain, let me jump out of a plane. But holding and firing this weapon, he's pranging me out a bit.
Okay. Pick up your pistol. Pistol is live.
And do I hold it like this, yeah?
Aim, firm grip. Make sure of your target.
Oh, please say I've hit the target once. I've not hit the target at all. Fuck's sake.
One there, one there.
Grandma, I've officially found something I'm not good at. I've been stressing over shooting at a paper target. But for these guys, that's a real person they're shooting at, with a real gun pointing back at them. I'm guessing nobody wants to have to use these.
You never want to use it. It's a split second, taking a life of a person, although it's in self-defense.
What kind of consequences can come from having to pull the trigger on a poacher?
Pull the trigger, you can face murder charges. It's for you to prove that it was justifiable.
Is there ever been any, you know, revenge killings, you know, on rangers?
Yeah. 2 years ago, a ranger was assassinated due to that type of circumstances.
Anti-poaching rangers are confronted with dozens of different types of weapons in their line of work. And if the poacher they're in combat with is armed with more than a pistol, then they need to match fire with fire. I'm nervous about this one, you know. I'm not used to the kickback.
Rifle is live, range is live, aim at the target, own time. All 3 shots so far, right place. This was very good.
I've made a comeback switching from the pistol to the rifle, but these aren't toys.
Well done, good job.
And I hate that guns destroy so many people's lives. Have you ever had to shoot anybody?
Unfortunately, yes.
And how many people, if you don't mind me asking?
No.
Yeah. How is that, lasted with you?
The after effect, after shooting a person that poses a threat to your life, and the adrenaline works off. Reality sets in. I mean, we have had rangers that picked up post-traumatic stress. You get your deja vus, your daydreams. Yeah, sometimes it keeps you awake, but it was your life or his life. They made the choice to first start shooting.
For these guys, the true cost of saving the life of a rhino is being killed themselves or taking the life of another human.
These dogs are incredible, aren't they? Phenomenal. Good boy, Gunnar.
And as the Canine Rangers head out for their evening patrols,
Thank you, Puti. Thank you.
I'm keen to find out what rangers really think about poachers, if they've ever considered that these are desperate men just trying to survive. Do you have any sympathy for the poachers?
To me, I don't have. There are a lot of people out there. They are surviving just selling sweets, but they are able to feed their family. So why should you go in the bush there to kill an animal just for a horn?
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
In a way, yeah, poverty plays a factor. I think poaching is more about greed than poverty. It's more about greed.
Yeah. This is a very dangerous job. It comes with threats. It can come with potential harm. How do you feel every morning when you wake up, knowing what you're about to do?
Definitely, when we are going out, we know that it's a do or die. But we always fight to win.
But as this fight goes on, more blood will be shed, because it looks like the poacher will stop at nothing to get the rhino horn. Ever since I got here, I've been putting the word out to my contacts on the ground to try and find a poacher who will talk to me, but no one has stepped forward. Until now, I finally had the breakthrough I've been waiting for. It's time to come face to face with a poacher. Via an undisclosed source, we've managed to get access to a poacher. Now, I've been sent the location, which we're on the way to now. We've been told that we can take no phones, no trackers. This has got to be kept very low-key. Now, I don't really know how I feel about meeting a poacher because I know about the work that they do and what harm it causes to these animals. But it's extremely necessary so I can really find out why someone like him does it. It's incredibly rare for wildlife criminals to talk about what they do on camera for fear of being identified. Being exposed as a rhino poacher could fetch him 25 years in prison in South Africa. I don't know his name or anything about him, except he's a local Zulu man and has agreed to tell me anything I want to know about being a rhino poacher. So, thank you for coming here today. It's really important for me to meet someone like you to find out a bit more about the poaching crisis in Zululand. How did you start off? I mean, did you start off poaching big game or did you start off with bushmeat?
Bengiqala ngizingela intibane ezinje nangomkhondo. Bese ngithola omunye umuntu wayesengitshela ukuthi hayi nansi into enemali ubhejana ophondo. Ngase ngiyeka ukuzingela intibane, ngase ngidubula ubhejana.
How many rhinos have you killed?
Mhlawumbe ko 160. Sengibabulale kakhulu.
I never expected to hear that number. 150 is crazy.
Hayi kwaningi lento ngibulala kaningi.
I appreciate your honesty, with this whole thing. Can you go through what a typical night of poaching looks like? What do you have to do?
Ufefe. Lo nqume ngepliers. Ngivula isikhala. Bese ngiyangena. Bese siyohlala phezulu. Umfula siwubuke phansi. La ukuphuza khona. Bese siyakubuka nje mase uqeda ukuphuza uthi ukuyadla kushona le. Bese sihamba siyakushaya. Bese ngihamba ngiphathele imbazi enkulu le yokukhipha uphondo. lembazi enkulu leyo ugcina uyibamba kanje uthi hayi sengiyakhipha ngiyahamba ngekhaya.
Do you always make sure that the animal is dead before you hack the horn off?
Angibe ngisawuphinda ngoba usuke usulele phansi ngokusavuka ngikhipha lokhu nje futhi ukusangihuphi ungilemazi ngoba amandla wasekho. Khipha nje lokhu ukhala ngihambe saluyifela zodla impisi amavubesi.
Do you ever feel guilty for what you do, you know, with the potential fact that you could wipe these animals off the planet?
Ngiphilisa ingane. Ngiphilisa ingane angibulali umuntu.
You have rangers and dog units that are armed as well and ready to kill. How many of your friends or fellow poachers do you know that have been killed by rangers?
Oh, 9.
And do you know of anybody that has killed a ranger?
Yebo. Uma sekudutshulwe iranger. Hayi ngiphatha kahle. Sizombulala.
You know, I've seen with my own eyes that there's not much opportunity here. But a lot of people have said that, you know, poaching isn't necessarily a means to feed your family, but you do it because it can improve your lifestyle because the money's good. Can you tell me how much money there is in, you know, bringing back a rhino horn?
Total to 150,000.
So 150,000 rand is about £6,500. You must not have any problem feeding your family now. That's close to £1 million you would have made purely off poaching rhino. Can you tell me what you spend the money on? You know, you can do a lot more than survive with that.
Ngenzela sebashona imisebenzi. Ngathenga inkomo ngenza imisebenzi ngagawa utshwala ngenzela abantu asebashona basekhaya. Ngashada ngaya ngakhanda ngayo emuzi lapha ekhaya, umuzi kababa.
And can you tell me this, when your kids grow up a little bit, what would you do if they came back one day and said, Daddy, I want to be a poacher?
Ngingqabela. Ngiyovuma.
When I seen a rhino for the first time, I was, you know, amazed. It felt like it was a magic moment. What do you see or feel when you see a rhino?
Ngibona imali, anginandaba nobuhle bawo, ngoba vele akusiwo wami. Ngibona imali mina.
Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye. Ah, man. He told me more than I expected to hear today. You know, 150 rhinos he's killed. And he has no remorse at all for what he does. You know, he said in the first place that he poaches to put food on the table. But the amount of money that he's made, you know, if you work it out, it's just under £1 million. It's way more than you need to survive around here. So it seems like it's become a bit of a lifestyle. A lifestyle that's surrounded by numbness and acts of murder. I just really, really am shocked at the numbers, and I'm even more shocked the fact that he's happy to get his children involved in it too. 150 rhinos killed by just one poacher is appalling to hear. But when you look at the total numbers killed year by year, it's devastating. In 2008, a rhino poaching crisis struck South Africa, when rhino deaths suddenly spiked upward, peaking in 2014, before they started to slowly decrease. I want to know how the reserves handled this onslaught from poachers and what they did to bring the numbers back down. So I'm heading to the Manyoni Private Game Reserve, who were hit hard during the peak of this crisis, leading them to take drastic action.
We started losing rhino around 2013-14. A couple of years within that period, 3 or 4 years, we lost 18 rhino to poaching, which is obviously devastating.
Karen Odendahl from Manyoni Private Game Reserve leads a conservation initiative to dehorn their entire rhino population. Removing the horn, along with the incentive for a poacher to kill the rhino.
It was quite a hard decision to make, but the choice was I was either going to attend a rhino crime scene the next day, or I was going to attend a horn trimming.
Karen's invited me to take part in their latest dehorning. It's a quick and painless procedure, but it needs to be performed within a narrow time frame.
We work fast and quick, Animal safety comes first. Be alert. We are in a big 5 game reserve. Lion, rhino, buffalo, elephant, all the things.
Okay.
So just keep your wits about you.
I'm stoked, and should we get to it?
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
let's go.
To pull off a massive operation like this takes a full crew of rangers, vets and security guards all working together. It's action stations. The chopper is up looking for Rhino, and we are full throttle in hot pursuit. It's not long before the eyes in the sky locate a Rhino with a full horn in need of a trim.
To have a male black rhino.
So, we've just got the update from the helicopter that we're going to dehorn a male black rhino today. These animals are so rare.
They're going into the dot.
Copy. They're going in for the darts, and within 5 minutes or so, we'll be with the rhino.
It takes a skilled marksman to take down just over a ton of rhino with a powerful tranquilizer dart.
Up to the top of that ridge is going to go down on top of the ridge here, so you'll have to come in off-road as much as you can.
The rhino is down, but then the helicopter will guide us in towards where the rhino is.
When they said that this gets hectic, I didn't expect it to be like this.
The thick African bush brings a ground vehicle to a complete stop.
I think we'll just have to go on foot from here.
It takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the rhino to become fully immobilized. The team needs to check if the rhino is completely sedated before the dehorning can begin.
One eye's open.
Just watch out in the front. Come around this side,
Actually, let's put the earplugs in first. Pop that one in there.
To minimize any stress, I'm helping dull the rhino's senses with the earplugs and a blindfold.
So hold it like that.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and then guys, can I get the saw so we can start cutting open here, please? Hold his ears for us while Mark does the cut. Sort of push the earplugs in and hold the ears back.
The whole idea is you're trying to block the sound going into his ear.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Perfect.
Mike, the head vet, is behind the chainsaw. Rhino horns are mostly made of keratin, the exact same protein that makes up our hair and nails. It might look brutal, but it's just like trimming your fingernails. And like fingernails, rhino horns grow back, so it's a process they need to repeat again and again. A lot of care goes into removing as much horn as possible, so there is nothing left for a poacher.
How come you just don't cut it off, you know, square and flat? How come you're like shaping it up and grinding it down?
On this nose here is a growth plate that sticks up around about 4 fingers up.
Yeah.
So you'll see that I made that sort of a measurement when I cut, which leaves the growth plate here literally maybe that far under the surface. If you cut through it, it starts bleeding. If we cut lower down, we cut a hole straight through the nose, basically. So this is as much as we can do, but as you can see, what we do is we shave down the sides to remove as much of this horn as possible, so it leaves the barest of minimum there, okay?
We just put a bit of oil on this, on there, just to... Oh my goodness, look at you.
I mean, I can't see what I look like now, but no one can say I didn't get involved.
So we're just putting a little bit of tea tree oil just to kind of help seal it and moisturize the horn just where we've cut it. That looks good.
I tell you what, this has got to be one of the craziest but most special things I've done in my whole life. Honestly.
It feels so amazing knowing that I could have just helped save the life of this magnificent creature.
Put your hand in front of the nostril there. It's not ever in your life that you will be able to feel a rhino breathe onto your hand.
Wow.
How amazing is that?
I think you can tell the sheer size of it just by the weight of the breaths.
It's time to give our black rhino a drug to help him wake up and send him on his way. This is a moment that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Wakey, wakey, big boy.
So this is the part where we have to move very fast.
Okay.
So I hope you guys have got your part.
It's been a pleasure. Love you, mate. Black rhinos are notorious for being aggressive, so you do not want to be anywhere near one of these bad boys when they wake up.
Well done.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it.
That was amazing.
That was fucking amazing. It was actually, excuse my French. We've only been back at the truck for a few moments and the rhino is already back on his feet. As he heads off, I can't help but feel a little sad that to save his life, these guys have to take away the very thing that makes a rhino a rhino.
So I wanted to let you at least just feel the weight of the horn. And how crazy is that? That's all it's about, all of this.
And why does somebody want this so bad that they're prepared to put that price on it and get people to hunt them?
Good old days used to be used as an aphrodisiac, but mostly in India. That's fallen away mostly. So the biggest market for rhino horn now is as a status symbol, based in Southeast Asian cultural belief. And owning one obviously enhances one's status and power hugely. So they bandied around at various business meetings and get-togethers and things like that.
It's like wining and dining your mates with oysters and the best French champagne.
So you're saying this is used now mainly for a bragging tool around the dinner table?
Status, yeah.
This horn will join the 70,000 kilos of rhino horn that's stockpiled across South Africa. Many believe it needs to be destroyed to prevent illegal trading. Others, like Mike, have a highly controversial potential solution that it could all be sold, flooding the market with cheap rhino horn.
If we were able to trade in rhino horn, one of the first things that's going to disappear is its status. Because then everybody's going to be able to have, that wants to have one. Once its use and status have been diminished, my belief, and a lot of us believe, that then a controlled form of trade would probably take care of whatever the remaining demand would be.
Yeah.
And so something radical does need to change. Otherwise, you're going to be seeing the last of the rhinos in Africa.
I came to South Africa to find out who these poachers are and try to understand how they can kill rhinos in such a brutal way. They are mostly young men from remote tribal communities that are being left behind from the economic growth of South Africa's cities. With so much hunger here, I can see how the offer of a year's salary to use their skills as a bushmeat hunter might lead them to poaching. But clearly others are making a lot more money than what it takes to survive. Cold-hearted greed is fueling this illegal trade, despite rangers firing guns and conservationists cutting off horns to try and stop the poachers killing rhino. Ultimately, the real rhino killers are the buyers. And as long as their criminal desire for rhino horn continues, every last one of these majestic animals will be gone forever. It's my last day in Zululand, but before I leave, I want to get back with the people living outside the reserves one more time to find out if they have any answers to the poaching crisis. So I'm visiting a local primary school in Hlabisa. I knew they were expecting me, but I did not expect this. These kids are giving me the legit traditional Zulu welcoming. Oh my God, that was one of the most enriching, enjoyable and wholesome experiences of my entire life. There's an amazing innocence, beauty and energy to these kids of Zululand, and I am all about it. There is no better way to start a morning than that. Oh my God. I'm meeting up with Richard Mabanga, a rhino ambassador. He's on a mission visiting schools in KwaZulu-Natal to teach children about the rhino poaching crisis and spread awareness about the importance of conservation.
You know, for me to educate kids, I give all examples to make the kids to understand how bad rhino poaching is. Let's find other ways of people to not get into poaching, you know?
You know, I met a poacher.
Yeah, oh.
He was numb. They haven't got a connection to the animals. A lot of them don't really like the animals, and they don't feel anything when they kill the animals. So to them, they don't think they're doing anything wrong.
Our great-grandfathers, they used to respect the animals. When the people are going to fetch water, maybe there is a rhino there, they will talk to them.
Yeah.
You understand? Hey, we are here to fetch water, you know, and then it's going to wake up and run and stand there and look at them and walk away, and then they'll fetch water. You would never have that human being kill like rhinos.
Richard hopes these kids can re-establish a more harmonious relationship that their Zulu ancestors had with rhino.
In our society, as we are the Zulus, we say, Inkunzi isematole.
Inkunzi isematole.
It means our future leaders are within the children. We need to educate them. The children's mind is like a sponge. They can absorb the information. They can keep it forever in their lives. They are the future decision makers, these young ones. So we need to make sure that we involve them. And then I know that we are going to win the battle.
Young Zulus could one day be targeted by the criminal poaching gangs and become victims of the wildlife trade along with the rhino. Or they could grow up in a country where the rhino has more value in being alive than dead. And I really have hope that that will happen, because since being in South Africa, I found so much life and beauty here to be appreciated.